Magandang araw po. Nabalitaan niyo siguro itong Senate hearing just this year. Nabanggit doon na close to 25 million Filipinos have problems comprehending. Nahihirapan makaintindi. That's a huge number. Now, bukod doon sa obvious na kulang sa classroom, kulang sa teacher, kulang sa pagkain, sa facilities, transportation. Bukod doon, ano ba kasi yung gap? Nasa policy ba? Let's see, for example, sa Republic Act 10533 o yung K-12 law, kalagay naman doon, every graduate of basic education shall be an empowered individual who has learned the capability to engage in autonomous, creative, and critical thinking. Maganda naman ang ating policy declaration. O baka naman nandoon sa curricular intent. Silipin natin yung halimbawa sa araling panlipunan. They stress the idea of a big idea. Sabi ang big idea ay nagbibigay sa mga mag-aaral ng kakayahang maunawaan at masuri ang esensyal na katangian ng isang pangyayari. Very well said. Furthermore, dahil dito, nagiging madali sa mga mag-aaral na iugnay ito sa ibang mga konteksto, karanasan at katanungang magbibigay ng kalinawan at katuturan sa maraming bagay. What is it saying? Para sinasabi niyo, kung naiintindihan mo raw yung, let's say, math and sciences, mas maintindihan mo yung languages o mas maintindihan mo yung social studies. Kasi damay sila. Dahil big idea nga, yung balangkas. Baka naman kulang sa oras o kaya tutok. Ay, na-recognize din yan. And just last year, meron tayong tinatawag na Aral Act, Republic Act 12028. Parang tutorial para sa mga naiiwanan na kaunti ng mga public school students. So, we're well covered in all of these areas. So, nasa ang problema? We think it has to do with the question, how do you translate these eloquent statements into actual learning processes? Not just concepts, not just principles, not just platitudes, kunin the actual devices, a lens of sort through which students can see, examine, and grasp the laws of motion, as it were, of the world in which they live. Which involves at least two things: adopting an internationally accepted standard for learning, and two, developing actual methodologies and materials that teachers can use in class. Together, of course, with other important considerations like mother tongue instruction, local culture, national history, human rights education, peace education, public education, which obviously entails long and tedious work. And that is what we mean by citizenship education. So far, nakita natin ng isa sa mga key challenges ng basic education is how to translate, I want you to mark that word, how to translate itong principles and motherhood statements into actual practice. So, how do you proceed from here? We actually have a rather straightforward na proposition consisting of three very simple steps. Yeah. Una, gawa tayo ng model of cooperation between the LGU and the local DepEd district in putting together something like a citizenship education project that mobilizes households, the production sectors, the youth, civic organizations, yung mga businesses, creatives, religious groups, the entire community para atupagin yung mga practical challenges ng basic education. It's done all the time. So it should not be too difficult to imagine. Ang question pa ay, why local? Kasi if you look a little closer into the spirit of the Basic Education Governance Act of 2001, Republic Act 9155, it says there, the state shall encourage local initiatives for improving the quality of basic education. Wow! Saan naman kukuha ng resources ang LGU? There's actually a law. For one thing, made in as far back as 1968, it's called the Special Education Fund Act, Republic Act 5447, authorizing an additional 1% tax on real property, half of which is retained by the local government, and specifically to be expended exclusively for activities of the Department of Education. So walang kawala ito si LGU at si Department of Education. They need to work together. So, hindi mo malilito si Department of Education District. Dalawa yung kanyang, meron siyang national na DepEd na kausap, meron naman siyang local na LGU. There's actually a neat workaround going back to 9155. It says there, it is at the regions, divisions, schools, and learning centers, nandun sa local, where the policy and principle for the governance of basic education shall be translated, yun yung ating minarkahan na salita, into programs, projects, and services developed, adapted, and offered to fit local needs. And there's our full circle. So it's not at all a revolutionary new idea. It's been long imagined and, in fact, entrenched in public policy. Why local? Because it is already in place. The policies are in place, the institutions are in place, the resources are in place. It almost goes without saying, actually. Why grades 4, 5, and 6? Kasi yung sa grades 1, 2, 3, nag-aaral pa lang sila ng basic literacy noon eh. Pagdating sa grades 4, 5, and 6, fortuitously too, nandoon yung araling panlipunan 4, 5, and 6. So you already have a placeholder. Now, 80%, a little above 80%, problematic but mataas-taas pa rin, get to finish primary school. But right after that, it quickly plunges down such that yung makakatapos ng high school is only 30%. That means you miss that narrow window, you lose the opportunity forever. And in 50 years, in 100 years, you're going to have the exact same demographic. At 25 to 30 years from now, those who are in grades 4, 5, and 6, and the batches that follow, they're going to constitute the decisive majority of the voters. In other words, all our voter education, tit for tat, alternative surveys, and expert analysis serve no real purpose in the big picture. That's why I have decided to conserve the little energy that I have left and work only with those who are also working along the same direction. Please let us know if you are. We very much welcome the idea of us working together.
Paano nga ba makamtan ang pangarap na lipunan? What's your theory of change, sabi nga ng mga NGOs? If you ask the average person, they'd probably say, we need strong leaders like Duterte or Marcos. Others might say, we need good leaders like Lenny or Vico. If you ask the religious groups, you need a savior. Mga hierarchy ng obispo at mga kaparian. If you ask activists, you need a political party. Advanced ideologues who know the way. If you ask the academics, we need more doctors and experts who know the answer. If you ask the NGOs, ang kailangan mo ay leadership training seminars, trainers training. If you think about it, lahat ng mga sagot nila magkakahawig. They're all saying, what you need are leaders. Not ordinary people, leaders. People don't make decisions, except maybe to vote or choose their leaders, in theory. People don't scrutinize the budget. They follow the rules and pay taxes. People don't have a seat at the table. They serve their superiors. People don't have the floor. They mop the floor. People don't get introduced. They attend and sign attendance sheets and get photographed for documentation. They attend community meetings, they attend rallies, they attend mass, they attend to the needs and wants and whims of their leaders. Leaders, leaders, leaders. First and foremost, leaders. Minsan naririnig natin yung concern na last term na ni Vico, paano na magpapatuloy? Or in the case of Irosin, ano nangyari at the reverse yung well-documented achievements nila sa governance at balik uli sa political dynasty. I think it could be na side effects ng leader-centered theory of change. Iaasa lahat sa leader, ike-credit lahat sa leader, or isisisi lahat sa leader. So yung publiko, spectator na lang, or minsan pumupusta sa sabong ng mga leader. Dito ko, parang mga meron kumbaga. No one is saying leaders are not important. Leaders are crucial, but not first and foremost. Citizens are. That's why citizenship education is a slightly different kind of animal. After all, if you have one dysfunctional official, you have one undesirable leader. But if you have millions of dysfunctional voters, you can finish the sentence yourself. So, kailan makakamtan ang pangarap na lipunan? Kapag namamayagpag na ang mapanuring mga mamamayan.
Okay, so we're trying to build an ideological infrastructure. Parang gumagawa tayo ng tulay o arko or public park. Pero nasa people's minds. Kumbaga parang public comprehension, if you want. Kamalayang bayan, citizenship education, same banana. So, how do I participate? 5 ways. Sinubukan ko yung 4. Yung una, as part of the curriculum development team. Kasalukuyan, nag-volunteer akong gawin yung tinatawag nila na MELCs, Most Essential Learning Competencies. And based dun sa MELCs, you can volunteer as an exemplar writer. Kung kayo ay teacher or sanay kayo gumawa ng parang lesson plan na magagamit ng mga teachers sa schools. Pangalawa, as LGU pitcher. Yung taga-bato nung idea doon sa mga LGU na maaring bukas sa ganitong ideya. So I did it for Irusin, for Balete, and for Pasig. So you might know LGUs na open. Pangatlo, very simple. As donor, meron akong counting royalties. So I donate dagdag pang bayad ng kuryente, mga materials, upa, and sort of thing. And you can also help sa fundraising. I ask my friends to consider helping out. Yung iba nagpapadala ng pagkain, yung iba nagpapadala ng donation. Minsan nagigig din ako to help raise funds. Yung panglima, as representative of the LGU, kung kayo ay councilor, vice mayor, mayor, administrator, local official who might want to look into it, and also as representative of the DepEd district, whether kayo yung district supervisor or principal or araling panlipunan teacher in your area. Yeah, most welcome. So there, we hope we've described Cit Ed concretely enough for you. I hope you consider participating, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.